So what makes this course suitable for beginners? That's a great question. Okay, so this course is suitable for beginners really because of the process. We're changing the process around. The subjects are similar, the outcomes will be kind of similar, but the big difference is that we're going to start off using a pencil. And pencil is a very safe medium, I think, for a lot of people, because a lot of people use pencils from an early age. They're kind of used to sketching in pencils. It's almost like your go-to material. So rather than going straight in with pen, which is very unforgiving, we're going to start off with pencil, which is very forgiving. So if you make a mistake, guys, you can rub it out. So that's a big difference, which is going to make it suitable for beginners. I think also we're going to make a big thing about the first few steps, because it's the first few steps that people find really tricky. And when I talk about the first few steps, it's very much about how you compose it on the page, how you structure it. And we're going to really take our time with that, going through it step by step and slowly building it up. And then I think the other thing that makes it suitable for beginners is the colour, because the colour in my normal workshops would go on quite early on. So we paint space, we try and record three-dimensional space. But in this particular case, the colour is going to go on very much at the end, not quite at the end for some of them, but kind of towards the end for pretty much all of them. So we've got a lot of information on the page already. We've got lots of defined shapes. So really we're colouring within those shapes, which should make it a lot easier and a lot more manageable for people. So there's lots of reasons really why this is specifically designed for beginners. Okay, we chose Shrewsbury for this particular beginners course because Shrewsbury's your typical, I think, English town, English city, English big urbanisation, because it's got lots of old black and white buildings which are great for perspective, because basically you're copying lines, you're copying thick chunky lines, and you can see how they kind of converge towards a vanishing point and how they're structured. So you'll see lots and lots and lots of really old black and white buildings which are perfect for teaching perspective. There's also lots of potential storytelling, which is great. Lots of street signs, lots of street furniture, which you don't get everywhere, but you're certainly going to get it in Shrewsbury, and that's great for the storytelling aspect, which comes in later on with the detail. Also, it's a fairly quiet place. It's not super busy. So when you're filming, you don't want lots and lots of distractions. I wanted to really focus on being able to do these kind of prelim sketches, working on location, making sure I could really focus on all the kind of skills and techniques that I wanted to put across. So Shrewsbury was kind of ideal for that. I mean, also it's not too big, so we're not having to travel around an awful lot. A lot of the locations are going to be within a fairly short space, and in some cases, kind of similar buildings are going to keep kind of cropping up. And that's really good from a learning point of view, because once you develop a technique for doing a certain thing, then it's great when you see it happening somewhere else. And it could be the shape of a building, or the certain style of a window or a doorway, or in this particular case, there's lots and lots of signage above the shops, how they kind of jut out to hold the canopies. And things like that are really cool to be able to draw on several occasions. And there's one other little thing that kind of occurred to me before, in one of the subjects that we were looking at, is that a lot of the buildings are really crooked, and it's teaching people that you don't have to draw in straight lines. Sometimes if you've got a wobbly line, you can go out and you can find the life that matches your art rather than the other way around. And it's great to be able to do that, because I love wonky lines, I love wobbly lines, I love dramatic lines, and to be able to find them in reality and get the reality to match your art is just wonderful. So Shrewsbury's full of wobbly lines, which is good. We like that. Someone who's nervous and is kind of maybe reluctant to start, my advice would be to first of all have a go, because you don't know where it's going to take you. Be bold, be brave. You won't get anywhere unless you have a go. If you're sitting on the fence and you're reluctant to do it, and you're beating yourself up and you're going around in circles and you're convincing yourself of all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, then you're not going to get anywhere. We all have to start somewhere, and every sketch starts off with a dot or a line, and then that line forms a composition, a structure, a shape, which then becomes coloured, and we add tone to it, and before you know it, you're adding all sorts of stories. But we've all got to start somewhere, and whether you're starting off at a complete beginner or you've not been doing it for a long time, you know, you've got to jump onto this creative process if you feel drawn towards it, because if you don't, you're missing out on this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. But I can understand people feeling nervous about it, because, you know, we put ourselves under an awful lot of pressure, and we all want to be good, we all want to get better. And hopefully, and I mean hopefully, the good thing about these courses is that I'm trying to show you how it works for me, what is successful for me, and the fun and the pleasure and the joy I get out of it, and hopefully that comes across. So it kind of hopefully inspires people to want to go and do it themselves. And, you know, no one's perfect, no one gets it right all the time. I mean, I get it wrong all the time, but I'm just really lucky because people don't seem to notice. But I'm always making mistakes and always getting things wrong and always making an absolute mess. But I'm quite good at hiding it. So when you finish this course, hopefully you might feel empowered to want to go and do another course. And there's lots of courses out there with Urban Sketch Course. And what we've done is we've tried to grade the courses as well. So this is obviously the beginner's course. This is the kind of entry-level course. And then they're kind of graded. So what you will find is if you've completed this course, you will have learned pretty much most of the techniques that you will need for the other courses. It's just the other courses are more advanced in all sorts of different ways, to do with speed, to do with subject matter, to do with more complex colour usage, to do with the process being changed. But the kind of outcomes are the same and the starting points are the same. So hopefully all of these courses, whether it's the beginner's one or the advanced one, they all have similar principles in that we rock up on location, we look carefully, we think about what we're doing, we work through this process, we evaluate what we've done as we go along, and they're all kind of structured in a very, very similar way. The only difference is this one being a beginner's one, there's a lot more emphasis on the use of pencil and the use of composition at the beginning. But by all means, once you finish this course, go off and do some of the other ones, and you'll surprise yourself. You just don't know where it's going to take you, and you will have so much fun, guys. Okay, that's a great question. Now, the process is developed during this course. Now, unlike all the other courses, the process is kind of the same. So any of the other courses, say there's 5 units in one particular course, what you'll find is the process is the same in all of them. But in this one, it's different because we try and vary it for each one. So the very first workshop, we sketch in pencil. And we spend a lot of time sketching out in pencil. And then we put pen on, and then we put more pen on, and then we put more pen on. So we have 3 steps of pen, and then the colour goes on at the end. And then what we'll do with the next workshop is we'll sketch out in pencil, and then we'll do maybe 2 stages of pen, and then the colour goes on, and then pen goes on afterwards. So what's happening with those two different processes I've described is the colour is jumping forward. And the nearer to the beginning that the colour goes on, almost the harder or the more challenging it becomes, because you've got less information on the page, and then you're having to draw on top of the paints, which is really cool. And then gradually, when we go through the next 2 workshops, the colour process gets closer to the front. So by the last one, what we will do is we'll sketch out in pencil, we'll put the pen on, we'll put the colour on, we'll put the brush pen tone work on, and then we'll do a couple of stages of pen work. And then that is almost exactly the same as the next course or the other courses that we have available. So it's a great kind of launch pad. So by the time you've done the 4th one, you're almost following exactly the same process as all the other courses. The only big difference is that you're still using pencil. But once you've dispensed with your pencil and got rid of your pencil sharpener and got rid of your rubber, you're ready to go with all the other ones. You're ready to rock and roll.